Please join me in a word of prayer. Lord, this is your word. And we would pray, Lord, that your Holy Spirit would live and move among us as we dwell on not my words or anyone else's, but yours this morning. In Jesus' name we pray this. Amen. Amen. Brothers and sisters in Christ, grace to you and peace from God our Father and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. So several weeks ago, I get this text message or email, I guess, from Pastor Dustin. Hey, August 7th, would you be available? I'm not going to be there. I'm going to take some time off. And at first, actually, I had planned to be in Southern California this weekend. We're doing a retreat out there. But then my mother in northern Minnesota has been on hospice for some time, and I just thought, I don't want to be a half a continent away. I can be 600 miles away, and so far, would appreciate your prayers. It's one of those things, we're waiting for one of those calls any day. So I said to Dustin, sure, I'll do it, but have this understanding. I could be called away. And so last night, I get this text late at night, are you still there? And will you be there in the morning? So I think last night, for the first time, he's probably relaxing a little bit, knowing that it's happening this morning. But I had no fear, because one time, this is a side story, when Pastor Mike Thomas was here, I was away some weekend doing something, and Doris gets this call at 7 in the morning. Doris, is Doug there? No, Pastor, he's out working somewhere. Oh, Doris, I got really sick last night. And Doris had just kind of told the Lord in so many words that something had happened in her life, and if he was to ever give opportunity, she would take it. So she came to church and she said, this is going to be Testimony Sunday. And I said, Dustin, you could do that again. It was one of the most powerful worship services you can imagine. And so I look at this text, and I kind of look at it from the bottom up. Oh, yippee, children. We can do a lot of fun stuff with children. Oh, look at that stuff on top. Wow. That's not just about marriage. That's about Mosaic law as it views marriage. And it's heavy, hard stuff. And as I began to meditate on it more and more, I realized that yes, this is about marriage, and yes, this is about family, but this is much more about justice. And these were the people, there's two religious groups that we're dealing with in this text. One is the Pharisees, one is the disciples, both of whom are convinced that they are right on everything, even though they don't know everything. And the Pharisees were these guys, these men, who just loved to argue about the law of Moses, and loved to argue about who knew it best. And it had nothing to do with the grace of God, so much as just about them knowing all the law. And remember, there were hundreds of laws, many more than God gave, because man continued to build on them. And so the Pharisees were always wandering about, waiting to trip Jesus up, because that was their desire. He was just getting a little bit too much of a following, you see. And so they thought hard and they argued hard about these questions. This was the kind of stuff they talked about. So, okay, Jesus, here you are. Is it okay to be divorced? And Jesus, like he very often does, doesn't answer their question. He just asks another question. Well, what did Moses say? Well, Moses said that a man can divorce his wife, because a wife couldn't divorce her husband. A man can divorce his wife if he writes a certificate of dismissal to divorce her. Now, that was the one thing that had to happen. By the way, there were two different views of divorce. One is you could divorce her for adultery. The other one was you could divorce her for, just any reason. And so Jesus' answer is, what did Moses say? Well, you can divorce her with this certificate. And Jesus' response to him said, Moses said that because of your hardness of heart. Because of your hardness of heart, he wrote a commandment like that. It's not that this is preferable, it's not that this is good, it's not that it's fair, but it's because we know that the status of the woman is going to be even far worse if we don't do something. And so Moses says, write the certificate. You see, the problem was that there was one gender that was was considered property at that time, as much as anything. And marriage was not about fulfillment as much as about saving your life and living together. Not living together, but just working for a couple of years ago, a couple of generations ago, I realized one time I was reading some family history of my family, and I forget where exactly this came into the family, but one of us, a female, came over from the old country, Norway, and came into the area where the rest of us had settled. And my aunt who wrote this, my great aunt who wrote this, it was almost in a business-like manner. Well, he needed someone to care for the children and to cook, and she needed that kind of protection that came from being with the family. And so it hasn't even been that many generations ago that marriage was almost more about survival than fulfillment for everybody. And had very little to do with love, but more to do with business and the survival of the family. But yes, the Pharisees and the people in this day had taken it to the extreme, and Jesus flips it on them. His answer finally is, but here's what God says. God says, I created them male and female, equal status. And that's what God has always said. From the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. Well, now that just completely tripped up these legalistic Pharisees, and you can see they disappear like they do almost every other time that Jesus encounters them. They go away frustrated because he answers their question with another question, and basically by the end lets it know it's more about God's grace than the laws that have been followed from Moses and the laws that men themselves have made up. Male and female created equal. So the first group of God guys is the Pharisees, but the second group, the disciples, they think they got it right too. They haven't even begun to learn all that they were going to learn and experience yet at this stage of the game, but they think they got it right, and part of that is we're keeping those kids away from Jesus. We don't want him to be bothered, He's been dealing with the Pharisees, he's been dealing with all these big people, now you kids stay away. And Jesus said, oh no, I love kids. Kids have no status in this society either. No standing, no benefits to being a child. In fact, they were often thought of as a problem or something that you just had to deal with. But Jesus says, no, not to me. Bring them on. Give me the children. I love the children. And in fact, some of the parents had already picked up on this, I guess, because it says there were parents that were trying to bring their children to Jesus so that he could touch them, and that he could bless them by touching them. And yet, here's these Christian guys, these followers of Jesus that are doing the best they can to keep people away, because that wasn't what they thought should be happening. And what Jesus' response to that is, stand back, let them come. Those are the folks that I want to see. In fact, it would be good if you knew that to enter the kingdom of God, you need to be like one of these little children. What do children have to give us? They have to give us the example of what it is. And we look at this from two ways. God is saying through both of these parts of the text that if you want to see me, you look at the disenfranchised, and there I am. If there's a group that's disenfranchised, if there's a group that's being put out, there I am, that's me. If there's somebody that's down, there I am, that's me. If there's someone who's impoverished, there I am, that's me. If there's someone who is sick, there I am, that's me. If there's someone who is impoverished, there I am, that's me. If there's someone who is powerless for any reason, there I am, that is me. You accept them, and you accept me. And they wanted to come so that they might be touched by him. Just think for a moment of what the experience of touch means. There's probably multiple reasons we actually do have in the church the passing of the peace on Sunday morning. We have not always had that in my lifetime. And I remember, I will tell you, in northern Minnesota, when we introduced that in the Lutheran church, it was like, what? To touch people on Sunday morning? And And I'm just going to tell you outright, I would just much rather hug each one of you because I'm Howard the Hugger, but I will shake your hand. Because it brings healing. It brings wholeness. To actually reach out and touch one another, both spiritually and mentally, but also physically, brings something to that other person. A lot of us guys say, well, we're not touchers. Until, however, we get to that game this afternoon and we're gathered in a room with a bunch of guys, and you're pointing at me, Karen. Well, Karen, we do it too. We're high-fiving each other like we did up here. We're slapping each other while we touch. In fact, a study was done several years ago. University of California, Berkeley, they did a study on basketball players. Now, if you look at athletes, they're constantly slapping each other, knocking their helmets, all of that. And they made this study of college basketball players, and those teams where the guys were slapping each other, touching each other the most, were the teams that played the best together. And were the most successful together. So Jesus says, come on, let them come, bring them through. I want to touch them. I want to be touched by them. I want to bring them wholeness. And the example of a child, well, what is that? Wonderful, isn't it? It's openness and it's trust. I was in a cafe here locally a few weeks ago where my one memory of the day was about a 4-year-old young child, boy, that just screamed at the top of his lungs while he ran across the cafe, "Daddy!" That's what God would love. Run into his arms, screaming, "Daddy!" Absolutely. I heard a podcast recently where they were speaking to a pastor in Golden, Colorado, a Presbyterian pastor in Golden, Colorado. And she put it this way. She said, you know, the world is like a giant nursery school with one adult present. Have you ever been the only one, if not few adults with a whole bunch of kids, loud, energetic kids? Have you ever been in that place? Most of us have at one time or another. And sometimes you kind of wonder, well, what am I doing here? But she said, you know, the world is like an entire room like that with one adult present, God. And she said, and us kids are crying, we're fighting, we're playing, we're sitting alone, and some of us are there tugging, asking the questions. And the one question that I think of when I think of kids is, why? Have you seen that commercial? And I mean, how many, you've raised kids? Why? Well, there's something to that, because as we went through the story last year, one of the things we learned, especially through the Old Testament, that the question that those Hebrew minds who wrote the Bible are trying to answer for us is the why question. Not so much the how. It doesn't matter how the world was created and some of that other stuff, but the why question is the question that God is constantly addressing, the why. And the why is because God loves you. Well, some of you know my granddaughter, Kezia. She's 14 now, but when she was 5 years old, we bring her back here every summer to spend time with Doris and me. And how that started was, I had a study leave. And I knew that one of the things I wanted to do on this study was not just study. I wanted to play. And so I did this time of study where I was reading about theology and God questions and how we get men involved with Jesus Christ and the church and all of that. And I was really ready then to put all of this heavy-duty theological thinking away and just play now with my 5-year-old. So she comes, and I think it was the second day that she was here, and I can't remember if we were playing a board game or out biking or something, when the question came, the why question. Grandpa, why did God make bad people? Wow, I thought you were giving me a break here. I've been reading all of this theology and stuff, like, gave me nothing for what this question was. I thank God I don't know where it came from. It had to have been the Holy Spirit. Well, what would you have said? See, God didn't make bad people. Male and female, and He liked them if they were good. But people made bad people.